Hi guys, it's me again. So what we're going to do now is we're going to work towards getting the Halti on our dog. So first thing you need is a dog. So I have one here. Hi Squish. The next thing you need is some high value food. So basically food that your dog normally doesn't get. So something other than kibble. So what I did was I went through my fridge and I found some pork loin roast from the other night. And I've cut it up into small little pieces. And we're going to use this high value food to teach the dog that the head halter actually means something really fantastic is going to happen. So one thing about head collars and how they work, dogs have pressure points across the bridge of their nose and behind their ears. So these head collars actually rest upon those pressure points, which helps kind of send them into a relaxed state of mind. So sometimes when you're looking at dogs and they're really, really excited and you put a Halti on them and all of a sudden they just kind of go, okay. Right, it works on those pressure points. So these are why these head collars and Haltis and stuff can actually really help improve your dog's loose-leash walking. One of the things that we want to talk about with head collars is making sure that they're not the dogs are not being jerked around with those. Because what can happen with the head collars and the dog's pulling really hard or lunging or it can cause a lot of neck injuries. So you want to really make sure that in combination of the halters and the head collars is making sure that you're actually working your dog on how to walk properly on a leash. So with Squishy, what I'm going to do with him is I have actually been working with him for a little bit of time now in getting him used to wearing a head collar. So I'm just going to kind of show you the basic steps on how to get there. So with the combination of the high value food, your clicker if you have one. If you don't have one, use a marker word. So a marker word works like a clicker, except the clicker is a little bit more consistent with the training. So before any training session, what I like to do is I actually like to charge my clicker. So all I'm going to do is just click and feed my dog. Click and feed my dog. Just to let him know that this is about to happen and that I have his full attention. Good boy. Good job. Good boy. Okay, so I got my clicker charged. And what I'm going to do, so when you first introduce the head collar to the dog, basically what I'd like to do is just take it and put it on the floor. Dog touches it with his nose. I don't know if you can see that, but when he touches it with his nose, I'm going to give him a piece of cookie. So basically what it does is he sees the head collar. He's actually going to touch it versus running away from it. Good boy. So he's touching it with his nose. I'm going to give him his food. He's looking for crumbs. Just wait it out. If he decides that this is too much for him and he wants to move away from it, I'm going to allow for him to get up and move away. There's no point in me trying to wrangle him and trying to fit it on him. So even if it was an accident, I'm still going to do that. The next step of this, what we're going to do is you set it to the biggest size that you possibly can. So making sure that the head collars that you're actually putting on your dog is the right size is very important. So with the Haltis, we really don't have to worry about anything sizing around the nose. It's sizing that goes around the head. So what you would do is you would then set your collar as big as you possibly can. You make a loop. So the loop where the nose goes through. And all you're going to do is you're just going to take your cookie and you're going to stick the cookie in the loop. So by sticking the cookie through the loop, you're going to actually, good boy, you're actually going to teach him that sticking his nose in the loop is what we want him to do. So as you can see, he's now sticking his, kind of skipped a step. So this is what we've been working on. So by sticking your hand through the loop and feeding him would be your first step. So hand goes through the loop, feed your dog, good boy. Hand goes through the loop, feed the dog, good boy. The next step after this is actually getting him to stick his nose. So you're going to pull your hand back slowly so he actually sticks his nose through the loop of the halter. Good boy. his nose goes through, you give him his cookie. Good job. Good. Yeah, good job. So you do that for a short period of time, and as the dog becomes more comfortable, they're going to offer it right away. So the next step is to take the strap, which then clips behind the dog's ears. Again, you're going to set it to its largest size, okay? So you're going to take the loop, and you're going to take the small loop, and you're just going to fold it over just like this. Now the reason why we're doing this is because he needs to stick his head through both loops. So take your treat, stick your hand through the loops, feed your dog. Good boy. Good boy. So you're going to stick your nose. There we go. Good job. Good boy. There we go. There we go. Good boy. So you're going to do this a few times. As he gets more comfortable, like I said, he's going to start offering to put his nose through the loop. The next step is to actually just take the extra loop, and you're just going to pull it over his head. Good job. Good boy. So it's like really, really super loose. There's no pressure there, and you just take it off. Stick his nose through, put it over his ears. Good boy. Yes, good job. There we go. Okay. Good boy. Uh-oh, we missed. Sometimes that does happen, especially when they're really, really big. Good boy. Good boy. There we go. And you just extend the amount of time that he actually has it on his face. Good job. Good boy. There. Nice. Ta-da. Right? Something that could be slightly different. So like I said before, that the Nutrix harness head halter is a little bit different. As soon as I untangle it, there we go. Okay, so this one here is a little bit different, but it's the same principle. You make the loop, make it as big as you can. You make the loop, get the dog to stick his nose through the loop, and then you stick it over his head. Good boy. Good boy. Yes. Good boy. And then you take it off. You stick his nose through the loop. Oop. And then you put it on. Good job. Good boy. And just to kind of show you what this looks like with the leash attached. So the leash actually gets attached to the back of the collar instead of under the chin. Good boy. Good boy. So you see there's no restraint or any weight put on underneath his chin versus the head collar, which has the leash attached to under the chin. Good boy. And one other subtle difference between wearing the Nutrix versus the Halti is that the Nutrix, when the dog goes to pull, what happens is it actually, instead of turning the head, right? Because that's what the Halti does, is you have the leash attached to the underneath the chin, and when the dog pulls, the head gets turned. With the Nutrix, what it does is when the dog goes to pull, it actually pulls the head back versus twist. So making sure that the direction of where the pull is coming from is slightly different. The Sporn does the same thing. So with this, you just take it off. There we go. Good job, buddy. Good boy. Yes, good boy. The Sporn is just a slightly different design, but it has the same concept. So basically it's a collar. You slip the collar on the dog. Good boy. Clip it. He's like, oh, I don't know about this one. Hey, you've been working with this one. Just make sure it's not twisted. Oh. Okay, so the loop is down here. So see the loop? I don't know if you can see that, but it just goes simply over his nose. There we go. Now this one's fitted, so this is like the end result of you slowly making the hole smaller, right? As you make the hole smaller, it'll become more fitted to the dog, and then it sits properly. So again, the leash gets attached to the back of the head versus the leash getting attached to the underneath the chin. Good boy. Nice. Uh-oh. Yes. Oh. Yes. Good boy. And then you just flip it off when you're not using it. Who's a good boy? Who's a good boy? Yeah, nice. Good job. Good job. So as the dog goes to pull, again, the pressure comes from a different point. So instead of underneath the chin and a twist, it's behind the head, and the head gets pulled back gently. In this, again, within combination of actually teaching your dog how to walk on a leash. Hey? Hi. Good boy. So, yeah, the gentle leader is the same thing. You teach them to stick their nose through the hole. Good boy. Good boy. Good boy. Right? You make sure that the loop is actually as big as you can. So this one's actually fitted to him, so we're going to make it a little bit bigger. So when I go to put both loops, clip it. Don't twist it, just clip. Okay, so nose goes through both loops. Good boy. And then the chin headpiece just gets flipped over his ears. Good boy. There we go. There we go. Good boy. Good boy. This one here, the leash gets attached under the chin. Nice. Good job. And you do it all in stages as your dog gets more comfortable. Now, if your dog is running away from it, don't chase them. Give them the chance for them to walk away. Give them a chance to just kind of shake it off. Give them a chance to regroup. Good boy. And then as your dog becomes more and more comfortable with it, short periods of time, short duration of having it on, making sure that he's having some fun with it. It's not a put on and then go. It's a slow build up to where you want him to be. So if your dog is walking nicely, you know, he doesn't necessarily need to have it. Some people have it because they have limited strength in their hands. Some people have it because they're the big dog, right? Who knows what might happen. This is a fantastic alternative to wearing pinch collars or choke chains or anything of that sort, because it's not necessary. By teaching him how to walk on a leash and by using tools, so these are not permanent solutions, these are just tools to get you to the next step. So lots of great food, have some fun with it, walk your dog through it. No pun intended. Right, Squish? Good boy. All right. Have a good day, you guys.